Hi, this is Laura Chappell, and I'd like to provide you with an example of how to use Wireshark tip number 1 that I tweeted. Now, if you want to stay up on the Wireshark tip series, you can follow me at Laura Chappell. Wireshark tip number 1 is to turn off the TCP preference for reassembly when you're working with HTTP. This way you can see the response code in the correct packet. Now let me take you out to a trace file and show you why you want to implement this tip. I've opened a basic trace file where I have a web browsing session taking place. I can see a DNS query for an A record, an IPv4 address, and a response, and then a DNS query for an AAAA record, or an IPv6 address, and a response coming back. There's my TCP handshake, and there's my GET request for the main page. Now, after you make a GET request to an HTTP server, you should get a numerical code back, and hopefully it'll be a 200 indicating that everything's okay. But with this default configuration, Wireshark is not showing me the 200 OK, even though I know that that value is sitting in packet number 9. If I scroll down in the packet bytes pane, here we can see exactly what's being sent down to us, and we can see that 200 OK right at the top where it says 2, there's the 00 on the next line, OK. But I'd like to be able to see this in my info column. I certainly don't want to have to go back all the time to my packet bytes pane to see that. So we're going to change the TCP reassembly setting. If the packet has a response code in it and there's data piggybacked on that response code, by default, Wireshark will put up this line that says TCP segment of a reassembled PDU or protocol data unit. I don't want to see that. I want to see the response code right there in the packet in which it's contained. There are two ways of changing this setting. There's the long way and there's the quick short way. So the long way would be to click on the Edit Preferences button up on the main toolbar. But I want you to get used to using Wireshark in the most efficient way possible. So instead of using the Edit Preferences button, let's go ahead and just select a TCP header in the Packet Details pane, and then right mouse click on that header. This will bring up a window, or a menu that expands, and we can see that there's a line that says Protocol Preferences. This is the setting that I want to disable. Allow subdissector to reassemble TCP streams. In the background, I have packet number 9 highlighted, and I want you to pay attention to that packet because this is going to change in just a moment. I will uncheck that setting, and now packet number 9 shows me my response code. This is great because I can also sort the info column to put all the response codes together, and it's pretty easy to see that, yes, I have a 404 in there. I'll sort back on the original order again. So why would you not want to change that setting? Well, if you work with reassembly, in other words, you want to reassemble all the objects that were transferred using HTTP, if you left Wireshark at its default, allowing the reassembly, then when you want to select File, Export Objects, and HTTP, you would see that Wireshark would reassemble all of these identical file names into a single line, allowing you to save them separately. Honestly, that's not a feature that I do a lot with Wireshark. I think there are better tools out there for doing reassembly, such as maybe Network Miner. That's just not Wireshark's strong point. But if you do want to use that File, Export Objects, HTTP, you'll need to turn that setting back on. You can keep up with the Wireshark tips that I'm releasing on Twitter if you follow me at Laura Chappell. For more Wireshark training and tips, you can visit chappellu.com.